Awesome. Welcome everybody to this next section. We're going to give it just a couple of minutes for everybody to get in and join us. We get the waiting room filling up, so we really appreciate that. I know it's a little early for you in California. I'm in Texas, so it's not so bad, but it's bright and early in California for sure. All right, I can see the room's filling up, so we'll give it a second. Awesome. All right, well, we're going to get started. Our next presenter actually needs no introduction, even though I'm going to give it. I have been following you since I learned all about multifamily and whatever. Absolutely staggering. So all I can say is, people, put your seatbelts on and get ready. Go ahead and start, sir.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Trevor, and everyone. Welcome to this session where we are going to be leaking technology through our ears and our eyes and other outputs, because this session is all about how you can accelerate and how you can massively multiply yourself in various different ways when you're looking for, when you're looking for multifamily, whether it's deal search, underwriting, due diligence, your business plan, legal, K1 tools, loans, raises, communication, asset management, all of these areas. There's technology that exists to accelerate what it is that you're doing. And keep in mind that for a significant portion of these, it's your properties that are paying for this software, right? Not always, not in every case, but a significant portion of the cost is really getting applied to your properties. So what I'm going to do today is I'm basically going to, and Trevor, let me know how much time I have so I can, tailor it to that.
45 minutes total.
45 minutes, plenty of time. So what I'm going to do basically sort of open your eyes to what's happening in the industry. I'm going to share some tools that are very common and some of the tools that you're going to know. And then there's going to be a bunch of tools that you definitely don't know about. And you're going to go, wow, this is real. This actually is happening. This is not like some future thing. This is not some .com thing that's going to happen in 5 years, but it's something that you can do today. Stuff like that is going to blow your mind in terms of how much faster you can do things and how much quicker you can multiply yourself. I know when you start in multifamily, there's this feeling of, well, my time is free. That approach is a very bad approach. It's a very negative approach. You need to treasure your time. It's very important, because if you set zero value on your time, that actually is not going to help you succeed. Any management book that you've written says, set a high value on your time, and most importantly, use technology and tools to get ahead. So as I said, I'm going to cover lots and lots of different ideas, right? So we're going to go to deal search, and we'll talk underwriting, and we'll do due diligence, and we'll talk about, how to accelerate your business plan or presentations. We're going to talk about tools that accelerate the raise process and the legal process, K1s. We're going to talk about tons of stuff, right? But to get started, I'm going to talk about a tool that I feel everyone should be excited about. So, right, this is a tool where it's like, for years, people have been saying, if I take a tool like Inodo, which does automated underwriting, and then I basically add a tool that does deal search, and then I add a tool that does rent comps and sales comps, and do all of those in and put them all together in one place, I could end up with a tool that's really amazing. Well, I'm excited about this tool because I think, and I'm going to share my screen now, that it actually has gotten almost 99% of what I wanted in a tool like this right. And it's reasonably priced. And the first tool that I'm going to show you that's going to change your search is Intel CRE. And I'm going to give you this tool's spelling. So on the screen, it's double L. I don't know why they did that, by the way. INTELLCRE. And what this tool does, it basically makes the process of real estate analysis easy. It's using true AI. Some of the tools that I'm going to talk about today are just Web3 tools. Essentially, what that means is they're cutting edge tools, but they don't use artificial intelligence or machine learning. This one does. This is an actual AI tool. So when we say ChatGPT, we could say Intel CRE at the same time. Doesn't use ChatGPT, but it's using the same sort of thought process. All right. So on this particular tool, I actually like their video. A lot of them, I'll give you my own demos or kind of, share thoughts. But this one actually has a really good demo. So I'm going to see if I can find that demo. Right. Here we go.
Welcome to this quick online demonstration of
Trevor, you
Intel
can hear it, right?
CRE, the first AI-powered platform that combines over 20 powerful features to help you
I hope
accurately
everyone can
underwrite
hear
real
the
estate
tool.
deals in just few seconds. Let's jump right in to see how it works. The platform is web-based, so no need to download or install any software. You can log into the platform from anywhere and using any device simply by going to the Intel CRE website. The platform is extremely intuitive and simple to use, so you can start without any onboarding or training. Let's look at how to create a new property and underwrite it in the New Analysis tab. Simply start typing the property address and choose from the list of suggested addresses. Choose to import complete or partial data that are pulled automatically or start with an empty form. Intel
So that was interesting, right? Basically, it pulls up a humongous amount of data on the property, and you can start with an empty form or just let it populate everything. And just like the Zillow estimate, it's already got a property value estimate. And as you tweak it on this screen, the property value estimate is going to change in real time, and an overview is being built for you on the right. How sexy is this?
CRE automatically pulls property characteristics and property details, including property and area photos, building information, parking information, walkability, property.
For some of these, I actually pulled more photos than I could pull myself, right? So that was pretty impressive. I don't know where the heck it's getting these photos from, but he had a bunch of them.
And area descriptions as well as highlights are auto-generated by AI. This information is used by Intel CRE algorithms to automatically suggest relevant sales comps and display the Intel CRE estimate that shows you the optimal price range for the property. The only essential data that needs to be provided is the income of the property, and there are
Now, it's important to understand that this Intel CRE, number, that first number is almost always going to be wrong. But normally you have access to rent rolls, right? So as soon as you upload the rent rolls, that number is going to change and become more accurate. So the more stuff you put in there, and it's so ridiculously simple to put stuff in, the more stuff you put in, the better that estimate's going to get.
multiple ways how to input this data. You can use the manual input, copy or paste from spreadsheets or PDFs directly into the form or download and use the template file. By far the most convenient way is to upload an existing
Check this out.
document such
Check
as an
this out.
AppFolio or Yardi rent roll export or any spreadsheet file that
You see
contains
that?
data on current rents or unit mix
It
at your
grabbed a
property.
PDF
Intel CRE extracts all
and plugged
data
it
from
in.
your uploaded file such as unit mix, square footage, current rents, and automatically shows the market rent as well as the upside potential for each unit.
Everyone,
Vacancies.
by the way, everyone that found it, wow, say wow in chat, because that is a ridiculous saving of time. You just dragged a PDF, and you notice in about a quarter second, it swallowed the PDF and turned it into this.
Growth rates and other parameters are auto-suggested, however can also be standardly customized based on your preferences. Next, for the operating expenses, there are 4 ways to input the expenses. Most conveniently, one can upload a T12 or a profit and loss statement directly into the platform to have the data extracted by Intel CRE. To demonstrate another powerful feature, let's say we do not have.
For me, that's another wow, right? It takes T12s by simply dragging it onto this button.
Such file or do not know what the expenses are. Choosing the type in operating expenses method enables you to have your expenses auto-estimated by the Intel CRE system.
Isn't that crazy again? It basically is estimating expenses. You tell it estimate the expenses, and it's taking all of the different typical, and these are very typical repairs and maintenance, offsite, landscaping, pest control, elevator, things like that. It basically is estimating by looking at this, right? So I already see comments from a tool that I'm going to mention next called Red IQ. So I'm just not going to say how this tool compares to Red IQ, but just incredible stuff on
System
this.
based on property characteristics, location, size, number of units, local averages of expenses at nearby properties and more. We also see the estimated totals of current and market operating expenses as a percentage of a GOI and can also choose to edit or switch bases for each expense item or for a whole group.
I know most of you are used to NOI, but GOI is gross operating income, which basically comes before net operating income. And so it's a GOI is a tool that, geeky folks like me use even before we look at NOI.
Group of expenses. Expenses and annual tax growth rates are automatically suggested. One can use this section to model multiple renovation and CapEx projects, with the desired budgeting, project period, and effects on vacancy.
I love this part, right? Create one model, then create a second model, then create a third model, and figure out which renovation CapEx. And remember, everything that you're doing is changing this model on the right in real time.
The panel on the right side shows the overview of the analysis with the most important numbers and return metrics, allowing for a quick sniff test to see whether the deal pencils out. Financing and loan section can be used to model multiple financing scenarios, refinancing, and comes with auto-suggested values as well as the option to fix the DCR to easily max out your LTV calculation. The acquisition and sales section can be used to choose a particular strategy for your deal, such as a fix and flip versus long hold, set up different hold periods, or to add an equity waterfall structure.
Did you hear equity waterfall structure? You can add waterfalls in here. You can do all kinds of different waterfalls. You can do 70-30, 8 pref. You can do, 70-30, then 85-15, and then 50-50 beyond that, all kinds of things.
Professional subscription includes the sales and rent comparables feature, which can be used to search.
By the way, that professional subscription is very reasonably priced, just so you know. But sales comps, rent comps, all in there.
Create or import your own library of comps. Simply cherry-pick your sales comps for customized underwriting and more accurate price valuation.
I love what you guys are saying.
The same can be done with rent comps to further adjust the market rent for each unit. Clicking the Generate Analysis button generates your full underwriting report in an eye blink. You have unlimited number of underwriting scenarios for each property that you can edit, share, or collaborate on. You also have the option to download the Excel model of the underwriting. Each report contains a clean rent roll, customizable graphs to better visualize the data, complete operating statement, breakdown of expenses, your detailed cash flow analysis, and financial projections both on annual as well as monthly basis. At the end, you will find the summary of the acquisition, sale, financings, operating data, as well as all the returns and revenue metrics. You may use the tabs to view or edit all data and information with regards to this deal, as well as manage attachments such as due diligence documents. Clicking on the Share Property button automatically creates unique interactive property websites and brochures or packages that can be downloaded as PDF.
Did you hear that? It lets you build a freaking website as soon as you determine this is a property I'm going to buy. So this is not just an underwriting software, it's building property packages that you're going to use to promote your product.
PDFs or printed out. This comes with your own branding, colors, contact information, and more. This customizable report contains property overview with all the details, the entire financial package, as well as summary of all the metrics and comparables.
I just want to read some of the comments in chat, right? There's so much technology out there that people don't know about it. Tracy Ling goes, wow. Cecilia, this is amazing. Lyra, wow, right? I'd actually prefer to invest in this Intel CRE over most deals I've seen in the last 12 months. I like that. That's really nice. And that was Richard Hall, right? I love that Excel download. Tracy's like, how do the solds and rent comps are pulled into the database? They're probably paying for a CoStar subscription, Tracy. Fran says, wow, less than $1,000 a year for the professional level. Kate Trevor says 10x wow, right? Kyle says triple wow. Lara says awesomeness. This is technology at its very best.
You can easily share this report electronically simply by sharing the unique access link. Going back to the platform, in the Properties tab, you can view, track, compare deals, and collaborate on your entire deal pipeline with your team or clients. You can easily invite users into the platform and assign various viewing or editing privileges based on your user management setting. Our new Deal Box feature allows you to passively source new deals, including valuable property and contact information without the hassle of endless cold calling. This feature comes with a customizable widget that is easily embedded on your website and notifies you every time you source a new deal. Plus, all sourced deals can be automatically analyzed for you by Intel CRE. The upcoming Deal Finder feature will allow you to search or get notified about new deals in your market based on your preset criteria. And, as you can now imagine, Underwriting and making the right move on your newly found deals will be just a click away in the Intel CRE platform. Sign up for a free trial.
Got a lovely question there. Does it update any numbers over time if you're tracking the deal like comps? The answer is yes. Every time you go in there, like if I go in there on Monday, my comps might be slightly different. Their rents might be slightly different. So Natasha, your question was really good. And the answer is yes, this sucker is actually updating your rent comps and sales comps in real time, right? Candia says, wow, for a team, this is platinum, right? So it and I love Richard Hall's comments. Richard says, hopefully their next program is IntelliLife. Well, that would be awesome for both you and me, Richard. But did you like this first tool, right? Most of you don't even know about these. My job, I am the mad scientist. My job is to basically look at a million of these tools and tell you which one I think is the best. Now, I also want to give you two tools whenever I can. The second one that I like in this category is RedIQ, right? So RedIQ actually was the leader until IntelliCRE just came in and started doing stuff and so now RedIQ is in catch-up mode. So from what I remember, it's a more expensive tool. There are some things that it does really well, and there's some categories that it works well in that it actually does a better job in than Intel CRE. But if you're going to get one tool and you can't afford to pay, for both, maybe Intel CRE might save you more time. But RedIQ does do a lot of things in a lot of different categories. If you're like institutional multifamily, there's a bunch of things that RedIQ does that Intel CRE won't do. I won't do multiple demos in there, but my honest feeling is you've got to basically decide, look at demos, call for free demos. These people give you lots of free demos and information. And so you can get lots and lots of information from them. So I won't give you a RedIQ demo, but what I would say is you shouldn't be buying Intel CRE until you look at RedIQ and compare. Everyone's situation is different. There's other tools in this category that I'm looking at that I feel are interesting. They're not quite there. Click.ai seems to be a tool that they're doing some very interesting things. So you might want to check out click.ai as well. And then there's also a tool called Archer Underwriting. So Archer here. These guys are doing some interesting things as well. So check out Archer and also check out click.ai, though I think that Intel CRE is in the lead for the moment. All right, so I'm going to move on. So, underwriting, deal search, you just saw an incredible tool. I'm going to move on to due diligence tools. The one that I like in the due diligence area is called hellodata.ai. And these people are really setting themselves up as data providers and research providers to everybody. So they're basically not just saying, hey, use us. They're also saying, hey, buy our data and use it in your own software. So a lot of Hello Data information is actually presented to you through other software, right? So and some of those are actually mentioned here. So here's what Hello Data does. So I'm just going to talk about their APIs, and then you guys can do your own research. This is the one that's my absolute favorite because I have never seen anyone else do this. Hello Data, it can basically use interior properties and street views to quantify the urb appeal and give you an AI-driven score about each property. So when you're comparing property A or B, we tend to use very, very emotion-driven, like we might like a particular picture and then we're like, this property is in good condition. You're almost always wrong with that. You haven't actually visited the property. So you look at one nice picture and you go, this is a great property. That, again, your chances of being wrong are in the high 90 percentile range. What this does, it basically pulls street views and it pulls property photos and says, this is what I think the interior quality rating is. You want to be data-driven, use an interior quality rating. Do you see what it's doing on the screen? Isn't that pretty sexy, right? And again, this tool is still developing, and this is through AI because it's using computer vision algorithms to figure this out, right? So fantastic, fantastic product. All right. So by the way, there's tools in RedIQ as well that do some of these kinds of things. All right, so here's the second one, which is liquid rent, right? This is revenue management. This is asset management. I mentioned it here since I have it on the screen. We do have a revenue management piece. What this does is it is using things like foot traffic, social network, listing website, apartments.com, and everything else. And what it's telling you is right now, what is the price elasticity of your market? Is this the market where, 1 month free is what is needed? Is this the kind of market where seasonality is very high, like the market sort of dies in December, January, Feb, you're not going to get any leases? Is it that kind of market? Those sorts of things. What is your conversion rate going to be for the leads that are coming in? Wouldn't it be incredible to know all this information? I mean, there's so many of you that buy properties and then you're like, I'm going to project that I'm going to get 10 leases a month, and then you get 3. And you're like, why am I only getting 3? In a different property, I got 10. Well, because this is a property that has extreme price elasticity, or it has extreme seasonality, or it has extremely low conversion rate. Well, you already have tools that show you that. Why aren't you using it before you buy the damn properties? Right? If your conversion rate is 1/3 of any other property, don't buy this property. You're going to have severe amounts of trouble keeping it leased up. Does that make sense? Everyone getting the power of this? This is revenue management, and Hello Data offers it to you. It's incredible, incredibly useful. And then they have one that's Rent Source. So basically, this is automated rent surveys. And I can tell you, I still wanted people to be picking up the phones and making phone calls. I still like that, but I find that the rent surveys are getting better and better and better. I mean, every year, these rent survey tools are getting so much better to get a real-time picture of where the property is today. So rent surveys are obviously part of rent management. They're part of this second tool, right? But slightly different. So this one here is revenue management. So you're moving your rents up and down. And then this piece here, the Rent Source piece, is rent surveys, which is sort of part of that revenue management, moving up and down. Incredibly, incredibly useful tools. And remember, the property should be paying for this. You're not paying for this. Your property is paying for this, and they're worth it. Now, they used to be really expensive, but as competition has gotten higher, these tools are actually getting cheaper by the month than they used to be. So check out Hello Data. This is an incredible website. They have a lot of different offerings. And many times, actually, when you schedule a meeting with Hello Data, they'll tell you which tools are using their data. So they'll say, go to this tool. It does, it's using our API. It's using our platform. And so they're more of a platform provider than direct provider, right? But they give you all of that access if you're asking for data, if you're doing the contact thing. So educate yourself. Right? You guys are okay with going 3 days to go check out 3 buildings? You don't have the time to basically get 30-minute Zoom calls with all of these companies and learn? That's what you should be doing. It's 30 minutes of your time on a Zoom call, and you're going to learn a shit ton. All right, I'm going to move on from this particular tool and move on to business plan, right? So one of the things is that when we are doing this work, I constantly see people putting out really hideous looking offering memorandums to their investors. And you think, well, the investors are logical. All they care about is the returns. If I put 10% cash on cash. No, all investors are illogical. All investors are emotional. I find that perhaps 1 in 500 of my investors is truly logical. The rest of them are basically emotional, right? So you should be using automated tools that develop beautiful presentations. And there's a lot of those in that category that have come out, but Beautiful.ai seems to be one that's very interesting. So check this out. And these tools are still developing, but they're developing really, really, really fast, right? So this is true generative AI, because what this allows you to do is it allows you to create presentations and create them really fast. So it doesn't just let you create presentations, it pulls data. Like on the screen you see, it knows that Netflix has more customers than Prime. It knows that Hulu has more customers than Disney Plus, things like that, right? So not only is it a tool that allows you to create slides and decks and information in real time, it's also a tool that it does research for you, right? So it transforms your presentations, and you end up with incredible slide templates, which are beautifully well designed. So here's a lot of different slide templates that they've designed, Venn diagrams, flow charts, strengths analysis, Gantt chart, right? All those kinds of things. And this is something for you guys to look into, right? Once again, pricing, very transparent, simple, $12 a month. This is what most people will be using, $40 a month for an entire team. But most people will just be paying for this and they'll be fine, right? So it actually even allows you to do PowerPoint import and it uses that for information. These tools are getting better. To me, they're not at the same level of maturity as Intel CRE, but they're getting there. And remember, Intel CRE already allows you to output PDFs. It already allows you to output a certain amount of information. You take that information, you put it in there. Now you have these beautiful presentations that your investors are really impressed by. I'm telling you, this stuff works. Now, I don't use this stuff because I have professionals that work for me on a full-time basis for my presentations. You don't need to be at that level. All right. Okay, let's move on from beautiful.ai. And I'll give you some other names of tools that, by the way, you might want to check out. So one of them is called Tome or Tome AI. So if you go to tome.app, this tool also allows you to create presentations in real time. It also allows you to add video to those presentations in real time. So something to check out. All of these tools are on the sort of they're developing, and they're developing extremely, extremely fast. All right. So now I'm going to basically talk about tools that can allow you to accelerate your process of forming things like fund of funds. So here's a tool that I want to show you. So this is called TribeVest. And as you can see, TribeVest is designed for people like you because it streamlines how you manage investor groups. This is not an investor management platform. So don't think this is Juniper Square or Investor Deal Room. No, 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 no. What it actually allows you to do is it allows you to very quickly, very, very quickly create a fund of funds for a certain deal. Neal Bawa has a deal and he's invited you to be an equity partner with him, right? Create a fund of fund platform, create a structure, 70-30 split or split between your investors and you. Some portion goes to you, some portion goes to them, some pref goes to you, some pref goes to them. Well, they're automating all of that process. They're opening business bank account, writing operating statements, structuring your cap table, right? Distributions, taxes, K1s. So this software is also one that's developing, and we are on their advisory council at this point in time. And so what it helps you is basically allows you to create groups of investors, right? And initially they started off being JVs, and they're really pivoting hard towards the syndication arena. And so here, you guys are basically right here, you're fund of funds people, right? So you've got GP structures, LP structures. The package includes everything, all the legal docs, all the required filings, blue sky filings in 50 states, all of that for a price much, much, much lower, much, much, much lower than you would pay lawyers, right? And these are all written. And now, where am I? I'm not here. I'm here, lead sponsor, right? I'm the sort of person that says, hey, I've got equity partners or fund managers that are working with me, and it's a legally compliant structure because I don't pay the fund managers anything, but there's a structure that's built so that I'm giving them a higher split, and then they decide what that split is on their side, right? So I'm paying them $0, right? But they're getting paid in various ways through this legal structure that's created on platforms like TribeVest. Right? I like TribeVest more than Avestor, but I always point out multiple platforms. So avestorinc.com, I think, is the other platform that's doing the same thing, right? They're saying capital raising made easy. I think this is a little shady. What they're doing essentially is they're providing tools to make the process of capital raising more easy. They're not accelerating your capital raises. They're not getting you investor leads. What they're doing is they're making that process easier. They're making that process more compliant. So this is a little shady. I think it's really a platform tool. But yes, all of these things it does: fund strategy, legal, regulatory, investment management, investor management. They do it to a certain level. You probably will end up using a separate investor management tool, compliance, accounting, and tax. So good tool, lots of thought that is being put into this, and you know, pick the one that you like. But these are not tools that cost you money. These are tools that save you money. So both Avexter and TribeVest are money-saving tools, right? So do these tools help manage contributions? Yes. Distributions? Yes. So these tools are also developing. I found that they're rough in certain areas, but I think that now is the time to get on with them, and you'll see that new features will come in for both Avestor and TribeVest. And I think that over time, they will also build features that will really help you raise more capital, as opposed to just making you more efficient and things like that. I mean, you can do things with these tools in days that you used to take months, in days. And that's the value of these tools. But in the future, I'm sure that there's going to be actual things that they'll put in here that will allow allow you to reach out to investors better and be better at that particular job. So questions are being asked, lots and lots of comments. Thank you. Keep the comments coming. So, Michael Bailey says, I started with TriVest from a JV perspective 18 months ago. I didn't see the growth. Yes. So people like us were basically telling them, you need to move to fund of funds. Your JV model is not going to be good for your company. You're not going to scale. And they listened. So they moved. So these are smart companies doing the smart things. Core differences between Avestor and TriVest. The biggest difference is TriVest essentially doesn't TriVest is a platform. They don't steal your data. They don't take your data. With Avestor, they're trying to basically they're trying to take a bunch of you guys and become a super money raiser themselves. To me, in some ways, that's a little shady because what they're doing is they're trying to become a platform using your services, and you didn't sign up for that. You signed up for the platform. You didn't really sign up to become a tool in them becoming a super money raiser. So it's a little challenging, but you may not care about that, and then it's a great tool. TriVest not trying to do that. They're not trying to basically say, I'm going to aggregate 200 of you and become a super equity raiser myself. So that's really one of the tools. The other thing is Avestor, I think, is a more mature tool than TriVest. I'd say TriVest is 5-6 months behind where Avestor is, but it's catching up quickly. All right, let's see, how much time do I have? Boom, boom, boom. What am I going to show you next? Let's see. I want to show you tools that help with asset management. So I'm going to go to Elise.ai. So here's a tool that is, in my mind, at this point, by far the best leasing product out there. Buying a building is all well and good. Somehow I made it to the finish line. I bought something. But now you need to lease the building. We see so few asset managers focused on leasing, but leasing is the magic. If you can keep your property 3% more occupied, you end up resolving so many of your problems. You end up resolving cash flow issues. You end up resolving, the overall valuation. This is a all-in-one platform that allows you to basically get rid of 90% of your prospect communications, your resident communications, and it turns it all conversational. They used to have a video on here. Let me see. So here's a boost. This is not a 12% boost. This is a 112% boost to the conversions of your tours, meaning people you're talking with that actually tour your property, right? You're booking appointments 300% more. Your team is saving 2 to 3 hours. So if you have a large property with 300 units, you might actually need less leasing agents. So bottom line is, this is for people who truly understand how big a deal this is, like Greystar, right? Greystar is managing hundreds of thousands of units. They are in love with this kind of stuff, right? So it does AI email, it does AI SMS, it does AI phone management, it does AI chat, it has a CRM. I mean, this stuff is blowing my mind. It's like, what? Where were you for the last 10 years when I was looking for you? It's now there. It also integrates with your own CRM. If you have your own CRM or your own property management software, it integrates with your property management software. It even understands maintenance requests. It's so freaking smart that if you're saying, I've got a pipe burst in my unit, it will immediately understand that it'll create a high priority maintenance request in your property management software. So it's the first thing that your maintenance people do. Isn't this crazy? Right? It's absolutely ridiculous what these tools are doing. And they're only a year old. In 5 years, God only knows what they're going to be doing. I'm sure these tools are going to be running around and wiping the pet shit off the sidewalks at some point in time. We're going to get there. I absolutely know we're going to get there. When, I don't know. But that's how good this stuff is getting. Check out Elise AI. I don't know where the heck their video went, but they have incredible videos on their website. And so check those out for property management with Elise AI. If you're not using this tool, you're missing something. Look at this. Look at this tool, right? It's talking to Elise, right? It's conversational AI. It can talk, it can chat. And so, Elise, my dishwasher's broken. I can't finish a wash cycle. Can I get someone to look at it on Tuesday? Boom, immediately. Jenny, you're confirmed for a service on this, blah, blah, blah. One of my colleagues will meet you at 9 to 9:30 a.m. Does this work? Do you get this? It's going to put half the people in asset management out of work. And you don't care about that because you're an asset manager. Alrighty, I'm going to move on to Lisa AI. Well, actually, no, Lisa AI is, oh, I'm going to move on to tools that you should be using to message your investors. Now, this is something that a lot of you guys know about this, but I want to really emphasize this. Since ChatGPT came out, your ability to communicate with your investors has gone up 10x. And you absolutely should be using tools like this. Here's one, Copysmith. So I'm going to type in Copysmith. And this is a tool basically that allows you to get SEO. And this is SEO that Google can't figure out, that is being written by tools. So everyone builds a website, but do you look at your SEO score? Do you track your SEO score on a monthly basis? Which keywords are you ranking on? Well, this basically allows you to automate all of your SEO product content work for keywords that you care about. Like here, these people care about serum and nail polish and lipstick. You care about, multifamily investment or apartment investment. Why aren't you using a tool like Describely to basically put your SEO on steroids without you really doing any work? Isn't that insane? Right? And I know SEO takes a year. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it because what it's doing is you're setting it and then you're forgetting, and it's doing a tremendous amount of work for you. So check it out. They have other tools like Writer. Some of you have heard Writer, RYTR, which basically writes copy, right? So Describely is a little bit different. It's basically designed to make you SEO compliant, and it learns, how Google's changing its SEO stuff. Writer, or RYTR, produces high quality copy for your emails, for your ads, catch and original content. I mean, this is incredible. Phrase, FRASE, basically creates content just specifically from the point of ranking on Google. And so this is their family of products. They're all integrated together. Check out copysmith.ai. All right, one more. I'm going to give you one more here, and that's copy.ai. Copy.ai. So here's this tool. And basically this allows you to, it does a question answer format, so you can write blogs, and you can write them 10x faster. I mean, in my mind, I can write them 20x faster. So they're also great for conversion. It writes social media stuff for you that creates a lot of engagement. It writes emails. I mean, this stuff is ridiculous, right? Watch this video and it's going to blow your mind. I don't have the time to do that. I want to make sure I finish on time. But copy.ai, copysmith.ai are both incredible tools that are making your life much easier. All right. And I'll finish with a single tool called perk.com. This is marketing automation. You've heard about the concept of marketing automation for investors, right? Have you heard about marketing automation for tenants? Marketing automation for tenants. So remember that the tool that I just showed you, Elise, it talks to people, right? All these leads, these tenant leads, these tenants, it talks with them and makes your life easier. But don't you first need to bring in the leads? Don't you first need to tell people about your property? That's Perk. PERQ.com allows you to create lead funnels to bring more tenants in, so Elise can chat with them and schedule tours and convert them. And once they're converted and they're tenants, all of their maintenance requests are still through Elite. So think of Perk as the tool that comes before Elite. So check out Perk. This tool is also developing, and it does a lot of capture, build, nurture, pass, all kinds of information. It basically figures out when to pass this to humans, and so it saves them an incredible amount of time. So Perk is marketing automation for your tenants. Now, the sort of tools that I'm still waiting for, right? I'm waiting for a set of tools that I don't have yet, and then maybe those tools are out there and I don't know about them, are tools that really help you find investors, are tools that really help you get investors. I know that there's tools that help you manage investors. I know that there's tools like Avestor and TribeVest that help you basically do all the legal work. But if there's tools out there that are truly helping you reach more investors, other than things like, Facebook marketing or Google marketing, tell me about them in the chat. Does anyone know about any such tools? Because I don't. Come on, anyone? Anyone? Boom. Nope. Okay, I'm happy, Trevor, that I am up to date. And when those tools come out, probably in Massive Capital's next update, I'm going to tell you about tools that are like, these tools help you find investors. Hasn't happened yet. It's only a freaking matter of time. obviously whoever does this first is going to get massive amounts of money from the people that are here. And that's my presentation. I'm happy to answer questions. Richard Hall is actually wondering if I am AI powered internally. It's very likely. I tell people I'm a robot that has some human components. There's a few things about me that are human-like, but I'm mostly a robot, and most robots are AI internally. Thank you, Richard Hall. That was a real compliment.
I told everybody to put their seatbelts on. Goodness gracious. That, I don't think I've heard that much information dump in 45 minutes.
My presentations are designed to be watched as recordings later, because you never get all of it the first time.
Yeah, this is absolutely, positively mind-boggling. I can't appreciate how much we appreciate this.
I love it. Senate says my keyboard is smoking. Yes, that's right. It's gonna be on fire in about a few seconds.
Yeah, awesome. Well, this was absolutely fantastic. Man, this is something you're gonna have to watch the replay on at least a dozen times just to absorb each program. It's absolutely. Thank you so much. Everyone knows why he is called the mad scientist. You know, you must have had a couple cups of coffee to start this off. This was amazing.
I never drink coffee because I'm made of coffee. So I don't ever need to drink caffeine because I think I have caffeine 24 hours a day. So thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Great comments. Absolutely adore your comments here. Actually, I'm going to ask Trevor for this chat because you guys had so many hilarious comments in there that I want to show my team. So I'll sign off by saying, stay mad. It's the only way to be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. This was awesome.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, thanks for coming.